Hello everyone, welcome back. If you're new here, please hit the subscribe button. Today we are going to see the banana bread recipe. Let's see what ingredients we need for this recipe. So here I have some bananas, and then I have 3 cups of almond flour, 4 eggs, I have half a cup of brown sugar, I have half a cup of oil, I have some almonds, and I have some chocolate chips. Here I have some vanilla essence, baking powder, cinnamon, and nutmeg powder. So now let's peel the banana and put it into the container. So for this recipe, if you have ripe bananas, it's much more better tasting and sweeter to make the banana bread. So I have 4 bananas here, so you can add up to 3 or 4 bananas for this recipe. So let's peel all the bananas and put it into the container. So if it is ripe and it has some dark spots, don't worry about it. That makes the banana cake even more perfect. So after you have all the bananas peeled, let's mash the bananas nicely. So if you have a masher, you can use that, or else you can just use the beater and mash it nicely. So just give a nice mashing and break it apart and mix it well. So let me show you after it's done. So now I have all the bananas mashed nicely. So to this I'm going to add the eggs. I'm going to break open each egg and add it to the banana. So let me make some space here, and then I'll get to the eggs. So crack it carefully into the banana. Make sure there's no shells or anything. Let me wipe my hands and come back. So let's beat this nicely. Once the egg is combined well, I'm going to add the vanilla essence. I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of it. I have a half a teaspoon here, so I'm going to add 2 of that. I'm going to wipe the spoon off, and then I'm going to take some baking powder. So again 1 teaspoon of baking powder. And then I'm going to add half a teaspoon of cinnamon powder and half a teaspoon of nutmeg powder each. So after adding that, combine that well as well. The nutmeg powder and the cinnamon powder gives a really good smell. So if you feel that if the nutmeg is a little bit strong for you, you can skip that. We really like it, so I'm adding that. And then let's add the oil to this mixture and combine everything well. Now let's add the almond meal. I'm adding 3 cups of almond meal to this. So you can use the almond flour that you get from Costco here, but I find almond meal has a really good texture, but I do it with both the flours, almond meal or almond flour, so it's just preference. And I'm also adding the brown sugar in and giving it a good mixture. So just blend everything well. If you see some banana pieces, it's fine, but just try to give a good stir. So let me just show you here. So I have everything blended and it's good. So I feel like I need a little bit more of the cinnamon powder and nutmeg powder. So I'm just adding that, another half a teaspoon of each. So just give another good mix. So and for baking this, we'll use a loaf. I'm going to use a loaf container and I'm going to align it with parchment paper, so like this. So and then I'm just going to pour the mixture into it. So try to getting all of the batter in. This is a really easy recipe and it's really good for breakfast or afternoon tea, and it's also a no carb recipe. So try it out, see if you like it, and let me know in the comments. So now I'm just going to add some garnish. I'm going to add some chocolate chips. This is a semi-sweet chocolate chip, so just drop it wherever. And then I'm going to add almond. So you can actually add any nut. Walnut is most preferred, but we have a nut allergy in our family, so I'm adding almonds. So now let's preheat the oven for 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and we'll bake it for 50 minutes. And after half an hour, let's check back and see with the toothpick method, because each oven is has different temperature. So I'm checking back around 45 minutes and it looks good. It's not wet. And you'll also get to know by the smell it makes in your whole house is smelling like cinnamon bread. So let's take it out from the oven and then let it rest and get cooler before we cut it. Here it is. It's really crunchy on the outside. It's really, the almonds are nicely roasted and it's beautifully cooked. So now it has already rested about an hour or so. So I'm just going to cut it into pieces. Use a bread knife, it's easier. So here we have the banana bread made with almond meal. It's so yummy, it tastes so good and smells so good. So do try out the recipe if you haven't done this yet, and let me know how you like it in the comments below. And if you have a different variation of it, let me know about that in the comments too. I would love to try it out. Thank you again for coming and watching this recipe. Do come back again to visit more recipes. Bye.